Welcome back to Money in Motion. You know we love to take your requests for deep dives, and this one is juicy. We're diving headfirst into the world of quantum computing stocks. You guys sent in some seriously interesting articles, and let me tell you, it looks like things are getting pretty wild out there.
Oh, yeah.
It sounds like you're all wondering, what on earth is driving this market frenzy?
Definitely some big questions.
And maybe you're also thinking, is this a bubble that's about to burst? I mean, I get it.
Yeah. The numbers are certainly eye-catching, let's just say that. We've seen some, pretty incredible stock performances in just the last few months.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, like Quantum Computing Inc. and Rigetti Computing Inc. For instance, they've both seen their stock prices shoot up by over 2,000%.
2,000%. That's insane.
It's a lot.
It feels like everyone's suddenly trying to grab a piece of the quantum pie.
Oh, yeah. There's definitely a ton of excitement swirling around this whole quantum computing thing. But, that's where things get interesting. Because despite these massive stock performances, these companies are still bringing in very little revenue.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
So, while the hype is huge, the actual money they're making...
I was like, Quantum Computing Inc. with that 2,000% surge we were talking about.
Right.
They only generated about $101,000 in revenue during the third quarter of 2024.
So it's like everyone's betting on this future potential, but the present reality is pretty small potatoes in comparison.
I think that's a great way to put it, yeah. And that's kind of where Jensen Huang's perspective comes in.
Right.
He's the CEO of NVIDIA,
right?
A major player in the tech world.
Yeah, for sure.
And he recently made some waves with his comments about quantum computing.
Okay, let's talk about Jensen Huang. I know he's a big name in tech, but what's his take on all this quantum craziness?
Well, he's basically saying, hold your horses, folks. He believes that practical quantum computers are still 15 to 30 years away. Wow.
And he even suggested 20 years might be a more realistic timeline.
Wow, 20 years. That's a long time to wait for a return on your investment, especially when you see the stocks just skyrocketing right now.
Right. And the market definitely took notice. After Huang made those comment shares of all those high-flying quantum companies, they took a pretty sharp dip.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Rigetti Quantum Computing Inc., Ion QD Wave, they all experienced their worst single-day performance drops on record.
Ooh, that's gotta hurt. That's a serious reality check for anyone who thought they were going to get rich quick off quantum computing.
Yeah.
So we have this incredible potential on the one hand, but this very long road ahead on the other. What does this mean for someone like me or anyone listening who's interested in investing in this space? Is it a bubble that's about to burst, or is this just a long game we need to be prepared to play?
That is the million-dollar question, isn't it? And there's no easy answer, unfortunately. Quantum computing does have this just immense potential to revolutionize industries.
Oh, yeah.
Everything from medicine to material science to artificial intelligence. But it's still so early. And, as we've seen, even experts like Jensen Huang are saying, we're a long way off from seeing widespread practical applications.
It's a lot to wrap your head around. On the one hand, you see these mind-blowing stock surges, but then you have these industry giants cautioning about a very long road ahead.
Right.
It's almost like balancing this incredible excitement with a healthy dose of reality.
Definitely.
If you're finding this deep dive into the world of quantum computing and market realities as fascinating as we are, hit that like button and subscribe to Money in Motion for more. Now let's unpack another key point that Huang made, this idea of small data, big compute. What do we mean by that, and what does it tell us about the unique capabilities of these computers?
Yeah, so Huang was highlighting a key characteristic of quantum computers, that they're not really about handling these massive amounts of data like our everyday computers. They're actually better suited for problems that involve relatively small amounts of data but require incredibly complex computations. Okay, I'm intrigued. So it's not your typical computer that's just crunching through spreadsheets and emails.
Right.
It sounds more like a specialized tool for very specific types of problems. Can you give us a real-world example of what a small data, big compute problem might look like?
Yeah, so imagine a world where personalized cancer treatments are developed in weeks, not years, thanks to quantum simulations.
Wow.
That's the kind of potential we're talking about. The interactions of molecules at an atomic level are incredibly complex, and simulating that process is a small data, big compute problem perfectly suited for a quantum computer. Exactly. While traditional computers might struggle with the sheer complexity of those simulations, quantum computers are built to tackle those kinds of challenges head on.
So while they might not be browsing the internet or streaming movies anytime soon, they could be revolutionizing healthcare and scientific research in ways we can barely imagine.
Absolutely. And drug discovery is just one example.
Yeah.
Quantum computers are also being explored for applications in materials, science, financial modeling, cryptography, and even optimizing logistics and supply chains.
Wow. It's really mind-blowing to think about the potential impact, even if it is still a long way off. But it sounds like we need to shift our thinking a bit. Instead of viewing them as replacements for our current computers, we should see them as these specialized instruments for tackling these incredibly complex problems.
Yeah, that's a great way to think about it. They're like powerful new tools in our arsenal capable of solving puzzles that were previously impossible to crack.
It's like having a super-powered calculator for some of the world's toughest problems. But knowing that practical applications are still years away, what does that mean for investors today?
Well, that's where things get tricky because while the potential is huge, so is the uncertainty.
Right.
The recent stock surge might have been fueled more by speculation and enthusiasm than by, concrete results. These companies are undoubtedly working on groundbreaking technology, but their revenue streams are still relatively small, and their path to profitability is likely to be long and challenging.
It sounds like investing in quantum computing stocks right now is a bit like venture capital. High risk, high reward. It requires a long-term perspective, a willingness to weather significant volatility, and a belief that these companies will eventually deliver on their promises.
You hit the nail on the head. It's not for the faint of heart, but for those who believe in the long-term potential of this technology and have a high-risk appetite. It could be an exciting area to watch. As the technology matures and companies start generating more substantial revenue, we can expect the market to become more stable and less susceptible to these dramatic swings we've seen recently.
So it sounds like it all comes down to balancing the potential with the risks we need to be realistic about the timeline, understand that this is a long game, and be prepared for a bumpy ride along the way. And speaking of exciting journeys, if you're enjoying this deep dive into the world of quantum computing, make sure to hit that subscribe button and stay tuned as we continue to unpack the complexities of this emerging technology.
Yeah.
So what are some of the key takeaways for our listeners or anyone else who's intrigued by the possibilities of quantum computing?
Well, I think the most important thing is to proceed with informed caution. Don't let the hype and those eye-popping stock surges cloud your judgment.
Right.
Do your research, dig deeper than just the headlines, and really assess the underlying technology, the team, the partnerships, and the long-term vision of the companies you're considering investing in.
Yeah, it's not enough to just jump on the bandwagon because everyone else is doing it. You need to understand the technology, the risks, and the potential rewards before making any decisions. It's like any investment, really. You wouldn't buy a house without inspecting it first, and you shouldn't invest in a quantum computing company without doing your due diligence.
Exactly. And because this is such a nascent industry, traditional valuation metrics might not be as useful. You need to look beyond the PE ratios and dig deeper into the fundamentals of the technology and the companies behind it.
It sounds like investing in quantum computing requires a different approach, one that's more akin to venture capital than traditional stock picking. You're betting on the future, on the potential of these companies to disrupt entire industries, even if that disruption is still years away.
That's a great way to put it. And just like in venture capital, diversification is key.
Sure.
Don't put all your eggs in one quantum basket. Spread your bets across a few promising companies to help mitigate the risk inherent in such a volatile sector.
That makes a lot of sense. Don't bet the farm on one company or one technology. Spread your risk and give yourself more chances to win in the long run. But how do you even begin to pick those promising companies? It feels like a minefield out there.
It's definitely a challenge, and that's why staying informed is so crucial. Keep an eye on industry developments, research breakthroughs, and any news that might impact the market. The field of quantum computing is evolving rapidly, and what's considered groundbreaking today might be obsolete tomorrow. Continuous learning is key to navigating this dynamic landscape.
It sounds like this is just the beginning of a very long and exciting journey. And while we might not know exactly where it's going to lead, the possibilities are truly mind-boggling.
It's like we're standing at the edge of a new frontier with the potential to unlock solutions to problems we haven't even imagined yet.
And who knows? Maybe one of those solutions will come from a company that's just a tiny blip on the radar today, but that, thanks to quantum computing, will become a household name in the decades to come.
Yeah, it's amazing to think about all the possibilities that are just waiting to be unlocked. And sounds like for anyone who's ready to embark on this quantum adventure, the key is to approach it with a healthy dose of realism, a lot of patience, and a commitment to staying informed as this field continues to evolve.
Absolutely. And perhaps even more importantly, a sense of wonder and a willingness to embrace the unknown.
Yeah.
Because with a technology as revolutionary as quantum computing, we're bound to encounter surprises and breakthroughs along the way that could completely reshape our understanding of what's possible.
It's almost like we're back in the early days of the internet when nobody could have predicted how it would transform our lives. We might be witnessing the birth of something equally transformative, something that could redefine entire industries and create entirely new ones we haven't even conceived of yet. It's a truly exciting time to be alive, and while practical applications might still be years away, the journey itself is going to be fascinating to witness.
So to wrap this all up for our listeners and anyone else who's been tuning in, the world of quantum computing is buzzing with excitement, but it's important to approach it with both enthusiasm and a healthy dose of reality. The potential is huge. But so are the risks? Do your research, be patient, diversify your investments, stay informed, and maybe you'll be part of something truly groundbreaking.
And as we conclude this deep dive, here's a final thought-provoking question for our listeners. If quantum computers are better suited for small data, big compute problems, what unexpected areas might they revolutionize first? Could it be something we haven't even considered yet? Perhaps a field we don't typically associate with complex computations?
Ooh, that's a good one. Leaves us all with something to ponder. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of quantum computing and market realities, don't forget to subscribe to Money in Motion for more insightful analyses on a variety of topics.
Thank you for joining us on Money in Motion. Until next time, keep those minds moving.